Alright, so this is a historic Brawl deck, or friendly Brawl as it's called on Arena. But it is focused on playing all of the shrines. So the 6 new shrines in M21 plus the 5 Hondans from Kamigawa that were in one of the historic anthologies and are now on Magic Arena. So yeah, there's a lot of shrines here. We use Kenrith so that we can go 5 colors because we want to play all the shrines. This deck's crazy. It can be sluggish. I've gotten just crushed with it because the mana base is extremely greedy. But if you can get it going, I've also had it just go off and be ridiculous. So let's go through it quickly here. Kenrith is your commander. Just makes sense. There's only a few options for a 5-color commander, and I think Kenrith is the best call. Then you got Tormod's Crypt, so that you can exile stuff from a graveyard. Then we get into the shrines. There's the Sanctum of Tranquil Light, Grazer for ramp, Glass Casket for removal, Agonizing Remorse, so we can pick stuff out of our opponent's hand. Because the big thing is we want to slow down our opponent, and then we want to win with the shrines. The shrines can get the job done in winning, but they need you to buy them time. So that's where stuff like Glass Casket comes in and Agonizing Remorse. So we got the Sanctum. This is one of the really good ones. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. I had several shrines in one game last week in our Brawl tournament. And I was just... I had this out, and the swings were ridiculous. Lava Coil for exiling a creature. More mana ramp with Druid. Wilt to destroy artifacts and enchantments or to cycle. Thought Eraser again, pick apart your opponent's hand. Growth Spiral, draw, put a land out. Mana Rock, Arcane Signet. Banishing Light for removal. Idyllic Tutor to help us go get one of the shrines we need, and usually it's the 5-color shrine because that's the one that you really want out, that really makes this deck sing. Drill Bit, another one to pick apart our opponent's hand. Murderous Rider for removal. Then we get into some more shrines here. The Hondan of Infinite Rage. At the beginning of your upkeep, Hondan deals damage to any target equal to the number of shrines you control. If you've got 6, 7, 8, 9 shrines out, whoo-wee, that's powerful. Sanctum of Shattered Heights, the new red shrine. Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest, which can make you a whole bunch of mana on your pre-combat main phase. Deputy of Detention for removal. Leyline Prowler for ramp. Chromatic Lantern for more ramp. Mana Geode for ramp. The White Hondan keeps you gaining life, 2 life for every shrine you control. Once again, we got to settle the wreckage. If we need to slow our opponent down, they swing big, settle their hash, and clean up another board wipe, Shadow the Sky. The new blue Sanctum of Calm Waters. You draw X cards. And this is a May ability, which is useful because I think I did mill myself out in one game, but I was able to hold off milling myself another game because it says you may draw X cards where X is the number of shrines you control. So that's useful because sometimes you're going to turn that down. Hondan of Night's Reach. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent discards a card for each shrine you control. If you've got several shrines, it's a great way to just keep your opponent from having any cards. Another board wipe, Ritual Soot. Vraska's Contempt to kill creatures and planeswalkers. Another board wipe in Storm's Wrath. Then we've got Hondan of Seeing Winds. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card for each shrine you control. I was in a game where I had several shrines and I still wasn't quite there to finish my opponent off, so I left this in my hand because I did not want to risk milling myself out, because this is not a May. The other blue shrine is a May. This is not. Then we have Hondan of Life's Web. That one makes 1/1 colorless spirit for each shrine you control. And the shrine that just makes this whole thing tick is the Sanctum of All. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library and or graveyard for a shrine card and put it on the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. If an ability of another shrine you control triggers while you control 6 or more shrines, that ability triggers an additional time. So sometimes you're just drawing stupid amounts of cards. You're making tons of mana. You're, shooting your opponent for a ton in the face. And so that's why, like, if you can get the Sanctum out, that's why we have the Idyllic Tutor. That's the one I want to go get. You can win the game with the Shrines. You just have to use all those other cards to keep your opponent at bay so you can get there. And then we get into the mana base. It's greedy. One of each basic. Then we got Hallowed Fountain, Godless Shrine, Watery Grave, Blood Crypt, Tomb, Woodland Cemetery, Stomping, Sacred Foundry, Temple Garden, Breeding Pool. So a bunch of the shocks and checks. Then we have the five triomes. We have Command Tower, Evolving Wilds, Fable Passage. We have the Gateway Plaza again, and Reliquary Tower, which unfortunately, in one game I had recently in our tournament, they have Reliquary Tower because you draw a lot of cards if you've got a lot of shrines out. So this way, I don't have to waste time getting rid of cards, and it allows me to do what I need to do. Problem was, I didn't think about this against my opponent. My opponent was playing the Folio of Fancies. I had 19 cards in hand, and I think I had like 12 or 13 in my library, and they just go tap, tap Folio. We both opponent draws, everybody draws cards equal to the number of, the mill equal to the number of cards they have in hand. And that was done. So foisted on my own petard there. Anyways, that is Brawl the Shrine. It's actually a pretty effective deck if you can get it going. The mana base is going to dictate whether or not you can get it going.